friends, it's your art teacher, Miss Barnett, and in this week's lesson called Dinos with Feelings, we've been talking about the different textures or the way an animal's skin might feel. Animals like dinosaurs, alligators, and elephants all have very rough skin. Animals like dolphins, seals, and frogs have smooth skin. And animals like bears, horses, and gorillas have very furry or hairy skin. Today we'll practice making different textures, then we'll create a real or imaginary animal of your choice, and then we'll add some textures to that animal as well as the mood or expression or feeling of that animal in the face. So what we're going to need to do today is we're going to get some materials together. I have a practice piece of paper to do some practicing with the textures on, as well as a bigger piece of paper to draw my animal, my final product on. You will also want a pencil, and you have your choice of color media. So you could use colored pencils, crayons, or markers. Whatever you have available is fine with me. You'll also want to do some planning today. So first off, we're going to pick an animal who has a distinct pattern or texture. This will make your job so much easier, friends. So you want to look for something that has a really cool texture or pattern to its skin. Then we're going to use a variety of shapes and lines to create patterns and textures, and I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. And of course, we'll be creating a mood or feeling or emotion with the animal's face. Think back to that picture we looked at of the dinosaur with his mouth open and those razor sharp teeth. That dinosaur looked very menacing and very scary. So that might be the emotion that you want to show. Maybe you want to show a different emotion in your animal. A good way to practice is if you're at home or you have a mirror, go to the mirror and practice making some faces. So think about how your face looks when it's happy. You're usually smiling, your eyes are a little squinty. Think about when you're surprised. My eyebrows went up, my mouth went into a big O. What if you're scared? Think of like my hands went to protect my face. Maybe let's do it without my hands in my face. So my eyes went big and my mouth kind of tensed up and I kind of backed away from whatever was scaring me. What if I am angry? My eyebrows furl and my nose scrunches and my mouth gets really tight. So practice making some of these emotional faces in a mirror and think about how you can use how your face changes onto your animal. Once you've done that kind of practice, come get your materials together and meet me back here and I'll show you how to make some beautiful textures using a pencil or a marker or a crayon or a colored pencil. I'll see you guys and let's get started. All right, kiddos, so we're going to practice making some textures right now on our scrap paper. I'm just going to section this off, so I might just fold it. Let's do like 4 practices and you don't have to fill up the whole square, guys. I just want you to do some of it. So let's think about animal, and in your presentation online, I have a bigger version of this handout here, so you can go click on that in the presentation to look at this closer and go back and get some ideas of how to create some texture. So one of the textures that they have on this handout is scales. And animals like dinosaurs, alligators, they kind of have scaly skin. So to make a scale, it says first draw a line of the letter U and then add another letter U. So let's try that. I'm letting these U's go in the middle. That is definitely looking pretty scaly. You could draw big scales, you could do little scales if you have like a smaller area to cover up. So think about the size of the texture compared to where it is on your creature. Cool. Let's try some fur. So to create fur, we're going to create short lines wrapped around the shape. So let's draw like a head shape just so we can practice. And we're going to do short lines curved lines going around the shape. And then we're going to overlap them. Starting to look kind of furry. You want to think about the direction that your lines are going into based on how the shape is curved. Looking pretty good to me. What about a smooth texture? So we talked about some animals have very smooth skin. So maybe we want to make it kind of look like glass almost, because glass is smooth. You might just want to add a couple of kind of lines like that. Maybe you have like a coarser skin, something like an elephant, that might look like burlap, like very rough and scratchy. So to create a rough pattern, we're going to cross lines and then with some spots that are darker. So we might want to, let's start with some horizontal lines. These don't have to be perfectly straight or even equal distanced. There, and let's go this way. So we've practiced a couple of textures. You go ahead and take a couple minutes and practice too, and then meet me back here and we'll start working on our creature. All right, kiddos, so I went and did a Google search and I found myself this cartoon version of a bronchosaurus, a long-necked dinosaur. And I picked a cartoon because I didn't really want to be influenced by anybody else's interpretation of a dinosaur. I just wanted to really look at the shape of the body. So I'm going to go ahead and sketch this out on my big paper, filling up most of the paper. And you can watch and we'll get started now. Let's go. Okay guys, so I've made the shape of my creature, a long-necked dinosaur, and now I'm going to use my color media. I think I'm going to use some markers today to start adding my textures. Let's get started. All right, kiddos, so I've finished my first layer of texture. I think I'm going to come in here with my crayons and add some more value or colors into my dinosaur's body. And then I'm also going to create his expression. I think he's going to look very surprised. So I'm going to finish those last two bits and you can watch. Here we go. All right, kiddos, here's my completed Dinosaur with Feeling project. I practiced making textures. I applied the texture to my animal. It could be a real animal or a made-up animal. I used markers You can use markers, crayons, or colored pencils, whatever you would like. And then I came back in after I created the texture with the markers and added some values, some different colors to the creature to make it pop a little bit more. I hope you have just as much fun making your creature with feelings or your dinosaur with feelings. Remember, try your best, don't stress, forget the rest, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye, friends.